Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, my friends. Rare occasion today, we actually have some Project L news. Not technically from an official source, but news nevertheless. So this news comes to us by way of GamerBee, famed fighting game competitor. Apparently over in Japan right now, in the lead up to Evo Japan, Riot held a bit of a private invitational dinner and showcased Project L to select people. GamerBee being one of them. So no footage allowed, no capture of the game or anything, but stuff was showed off and GamerBee was allowed to share what he learned about the game and posted on Twitter. I'll post a link to the tweet in the video description and translated through ChatGPT. And I'm basically here to give you the highlights of what was learned, both about the game itself and also about what Riot wants from the esports ecosystem from Project L. So first, let's talk some general things. So out of the gate, yes, the game will be free to play, confirmed. People have long speculated one way or the other, free to play or not, and yes, free to play confirmed, it's a done deal. So you're not buying a game box or anything like that, you download it, and I guess there'll be monetization options on various levels. We don't know the details on that just yet, but free to play, 100% confirmed, done deal. And as such, they consider the game a live service game in that it'll just be ongoing. And also, Project L is the only game you'll ever need. There will not be Project L Champion Edition, Ultimate Project L Dark Resurrection, nothing like that. You get Project L, and it's the only game you'll ever need. Basically how it's handled these days with modern games like say Street Fighter 5 or Tekken 7, you get the base game and everything will update from there. Also another thing is the game's nowhere near done just yet, so if you're hoping for like a closed beta, open beta or anything like that this year, it is not happening anytime soon. Also in some of the talks I had here, someone brought up the fact of Teemo and what are we going to do about the super short characters, and all that was said was, oh, you're really good at guessing, so I guess Teemo confirmed, although that's not exactly a shocker. Of course, Teemo is going to be in the game. Also, they will be leaning into the depth of the League universe for the game, and there's over 140 characters, I think, something like that right now, plus more are coming in time. So that, with the 2v2 system, equals a lot of possibilities. And I almost don't want to say it, because this is what everybody says, right? But don't worry, Project L will be easy to learn, yet hard to master. Where's the fighting game that's going to be hard to learn yet easy to master? That's what I wonder. So now more on the gameplay end of things here. First off, they mentioned that for the input delay of the game, they are working directly with PlayStation to reduce input delay across all versions of the game, across all platforms. And of course, that's how we want it, right? We want the least amount of input delay in any game possible. So that said, bare minimum, I'm assuming if they're working with PlayStation, the PlayStation is a confirmed console it's going to launch on. Once again, not a shocker, but hey, there you go. About core gameplay systems and mechanics, there's apparently lots of systems that have not been showcased at all just yet. Although one new one was showcased at this event, where it's basically a retreating guard. Think of it like a alpha counter, V reversal, a thing you can do while blocking, and it's basically you backdashing on block to help create space. Certainly not unheard of in fighting games, but in a game that's going to be as wild as Project L seemingly is, being able to create space on demand, probably for some amount of resource, is really good. As far as the layout of the controls are, it is a 3-button game, light, medium, and heavy. And yes, reconfirmed, there will be no motions or inputs like that, like a geese pretzel motion, a shoryuken, or whatever. Everything is a direction and a button. I know some people aren't necessarily over the moon about that decision, but that's what they want to go with. And for newer players, well, that'd be the easiest thing to learn. Also stated is there will be no cooldowns. So in League, moves have cooldowns. That's the balancing mechanic. And in the early game that I guess eventually sort of became Project L, Rising Thunder, that also had skills, moves on cooldowns. And that will not be the case here. As long as you can input the motion, you can do the move. The moves will not be gated by any kind of cooldown. So now also as a 2v2 game, there was some wondering about how will the game flow structure be as far as like the match itself, right? So this will be a round-based game. So best 2 out of 3 wins, just like the majority of traditional fighting games. And you do need to KO both characters to win the round. So this does not operate under, say, Tekken tag rules, where if you knock out one guy, you win the match, right? So you need to knock out both characters to win a round and 2 rounds to win. Right now, they're debating comeback mechanics. There's nothing set in stone just yet, but there may or may not be a comeback mechanic for the final character left alive on your team. That is something that is currently in flux. On the league front, summoner skills like say Flash or Ignite, those are things that they might be working into the game. They state that they want to have as much player identity as possible for the person playing the game. So summoner skills might be something that's added along the road to help with that. Now, as far as combos are concerned, they want to reward people with the ability to do like technically difficult combos, very complex combos, right? But they do not want combos to be too long and make other people bored, which is something after, you know, the Dragon Ball FighterZ years, something I absolutely agree with. Like for me, like someone who plays Super Broly, those combos could be almost a minute long. That's too long. Too long. I much prefer brevity in my combo so both players can get back to the actual match, and I guess that's what they're aiming for as well. Now, on to the esports end of things here. This is something that has long been speculated and wondered about. So if you are a professional Project L Riot-sponsored player, you will not, I repeat, not be barred from playing any other fighting game. So there is no exclusivity. If you're in the Project L ecosystem, you can still play with everyone else. You can play Street Fighter 6, you can play Mortal Kombat 12, you can play Tekken 8. There's no worries there. Everyone gets to play along just nicely, and that's great. That worry is now allayed. On the balance patch front, they are looking to do continuous improvements. So say if it's not a game you like right away, it'll be a game you can enjoy perhaps down the line. But yeah, so there'll be consistent and constant improvements to the game. That is the Riot way of doing things. And honestly, I like that. Don't abandon your game, please, right? So yeah, lots of updates and improvements for Project L. As far as professional Project L players go, Riot states they would like Project L players to be stars so they can earn money through endorsements and sponsorship deals and all that kind of stuff. Payouts for official tournaments might not be sky high like some people are expecting, but they do expect people who are pros at the game to be able to earn a living otherwise. Now, on the tournament note, so they're stating here that for tournaments, esports events, all that kind of stuff, maybe not going to be the biggest out of the gate as far as the official stuff goes. They want to make sure the game is on a good base level first, that the player base is satisfied with the game. And once everyone's happy with how it is competitively, then they can focus on building a big esports environment after the fact. And also, speaking of tournaments, so yes, naturally, there is going to be an esports scene for Riot, because of course there would be, right? But they are in no way looking to displace the traditional fighting game community events at all. So there will be official events. They'll be more limited in nature from Riot specifically. And for the rest, it'll be up on the community tournaments. And they're willing to organize and work with all the community tournaments. So the little guy is not going to get pushed out. Riot is very willing to work hand in hand with everyone on that matter. So all this said, some interesting details for the game for sure. Maybe we'll learn more right before Evo this year. I don't know. Unlike last year where we had the 2 guaranteed updates, we have exactly 0 guaranteed updates this year for Project L. Although I gotta assume we'll get something somewhere along the line. And of course, naturally, when that time comes, it'll be covered here on the channel. So make sure to like and subscribe and all that stuff, right? But yeah, so hopefully more Project L footage at some point. That would be great. Looking to devour everything we can about the game. But it's really apparently clear, yo, don't worry about it coming out anytime soon, because it definitely is not coming out this year. You know what? Don't worry. This year is pretty packed. We got Street Fighter 6, we got Mortal Kombat 12, and at the rate the Tekken stuff is flowing, maybe Tekken 8 is coming out this year. Who actually knows, right? But don't worry. 2023 is filled. So 2024 and the future and beyond will learn more about Project L and everything they got. And until then, well, I guess we're at the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some fighting games.